Hi, I'm Muna, and hi, I'm Muna with Kiking, Kiking. Make sure that you follow me, that way you don't miss any of my content. Okay, so I was just thinking and wanted to chat about your imagination. Do not, do not, do not lose your imagination, okay? That is one thing that I just want to tell you today. Don't lose your imagination. And I say that because your imagination is kind of like a cheat code to working with your inner self, accessing that what do people say, the third eye, which is the intelligence that you have inside of yourself. It's the cheat code to manifesting, and just really when you meditate your imagination, it's a cheat code. And I say that because there are different ways where you can talk to your inner self, different ways that you can tap into the what's it called, subconscious. Yes, your subconscious, to have that inner conversation. There are different ways that you can do that, and one of them is your imagination. So I say that to say because I really am seeing myself, literally just watching myself change as far as transforming for the better. And one thing I can say is my imagination is a huge part of it, because I'm able to imagine and see something in my mind, just regular pictures, which is like dreams or just daydreaming. I daydream so much. I'm able to do that, visualize in the future. And that is the same method that I use when I was younger, imagining some other stuff. Like, I used to imagine that I had many friends. You couldn't tell me I did not have many friends until I realized I didn't have them, like, I think in middle school. Because back in Sierra Leone, I used to make little I used to make like little play with the clay outside, just like the mud, and make like mud pottery. So super imaginative. And then I used to just I was making them for my miniature friends because they needed to cook. So I made pots for them in like little houses, and I guess I was most likely just dreaming about interacting with them. But anyways, just saying that as a young kid is how imagination can look like if you're very over overly imaginative, and you can just, anyways, yeah, it is. But and in personal development, in self-mastery, in self-understanding, and manifesting, it's that area that you tap into in your brain, the same area, just a different picture that you're imagining, or a different situation that we're addressing here. So, although I know kids, no, forget it. Please do not discourage your kids not to keep their imagination. Please do not become that person. I know we need to um do the parent thing, and if your kid is overly I don't know, but do not kill your child's imagination. That's all I can say. I can't say anything about anything else, but do not, because that's selfish as shit. Okay? But another thing, though, is with this said imagination, which is your ability your ability to visualize images, and just to visualize and see something or hear something that's not there. Like artists, they use their imagination. Some of them may not think that they do because they're very methodic about it. And I've heard some artists say this, that they're not very imaginative. I'm just like, yes, you are, if you're creating something out of nothing. But that, or if you are even like an athlete. Athletes, you imagine your body to be at a certain athletic ability in the future, right? That's why you train, you're doing the process. And why am I saying all this now? I know it's all about keeping imagination, but why did I go on that tangent? My bad. Anyways, just saying there are different ways that you can use it, and just understand that it's all that ability to talk to your inner self, to have that inner conversation that you would ideally probably have with somebody that you trust, somebody that is good advice. So in your imagination, that gives you good advice. Somebody that gives you good advice. So in your imagination, that's why it's good to be kind to yourself when you do that at times, because sometimes we can go a little crazy when we'll be having our own inner conversations. So let me see, I heard somebody say that they just imagine that they are responsible as for a parent is for their child. It's like they imagine an older version of themselves who just feels responsible about themselves, but with compassion. And that's a really good method. For me, I just use just I use I guess what you can call real love because I'm honest about the situation and reality of things. Even though emotionally I'd be overreacting, okay? Can't control that, but I advise myself to stay realistic, sometimes at a fault, but very, very open and fluid, chameleon like to what the outcome could be. That's why I'm very interested in always just learning. You learn so much from different experiences and people that you meet and things that you do. And I've really learned this past, I'll say, definitely during COVID, but even the moment of me just living by myself, essentially raising myself again. Not me doing it again, but you're raised as a kid, and then as an adult, I raised myself. But this moment when I had the opportunity to live alone for 17, 18, I think 2 years, I had the opportunity to live alone, so I had no choice. I'm one of those people where, as much as I love being around people and having a lot of fun with people, once I got the chance to be myself, I really also enjoyed my time alone. So mentally, I always just go to thinking about what I'd be thinking about. Mentally, I always just think of, my mind is set on personal development, being better version of myself. So doing that in real, honest conversations and having that opportunity has been great. So that 2 years, one being without COVID and one being with COVID, of that solitude and being able to tap into my subconscious and have those long, drawn out conversations. A lot in tears and all of that, but that was probably the most. That was an experience in its own that's amazing and I really appreciate. I'll have to say that. So at first, I thought I was kind of going crazy, not gonna lie. Not legit crazy, but like crazy, crazy, where like I knew, okay, it's going to end soon because I'm about to move out. But damn, like stop talking so much. I would talk to myself so much in the inside, not the outside. Mentally in the inside, having that conversation with the different, areas of opinions that are going on when I'm overthinking situations or trying to process situations or imagining solutions to things. And it was just so many options going on because when you're in solitude and silence, you really hear your voices inside a lot louder. And depending on how many voices you got inside, it could be a whole podcast going on inside of your head with about 8 guests. But I say that to say, just, tap into your imagination. Don't be afraid. Sometimes it can be overwhelming. For me, whew, overwhelming as in sometimes, if you're a creative person, don't you sometimes feel like your ideas just keep rushing? It's just ideas, ideas. A lot more ideas you're having than the ones you're actually creating. But I love those times too, because what you have to realize is all those ideas, you don't need to do all of them. Just let them flow, just have fun. That's just your imagination working, exercising. Let's just call it that, because you can't do all of them. They are great. You can write them down to feel better about it. If you want to share with somebody, maybe they can use it. But you cannot do all those ideas. Trust me. I used to be obsessed with writing the ideas down and talking about, oh, I'm going to do this company. Girl, ain't no way you're going to do overload. Anyways, if you're somebody who has that overload imagination thing going on, it's okay. You're going to be okay. Just don't think everything is for you. All right? So, as the rant is almost done, I just want to say thank you for chilling with me. Thank you for hanging. I hope you take what I am saying into not even consideration. It's just a fact. So it's a fact. But if you don't care about, I guess, being in control of what your life is, the outcome of your life, then go ahead. Don't keep your imagination. Hey, I am not forcing you. I am not forcing you at all. Okay? I'm not a force you. Now your choice. If you do or not do okay? But if you are interested in writing the script of your life, you don't know the details, but at least you know the feeling that you want out of life. Because clearly, trust me, you don't know the details as much as you think as far as how life will be, but the feeling you can have a bit more control of when you want to understand your thoughts and how and whys that you have inside without just wandering. Tap into your imagination and learn how you can use it to benefit you. And by learn, I mean literally go into research and see how it can benefit you through manifesting. Because manifesting, you imagine your life in a certain way you want to see it in the future, and you take the actions now to get to it. You may not even know how it's actually going to be where you're going to be, but at least you're working towards just that. So an example would be if you're somebody who wants to be a homeowner. I'll put this in real situations. So if you were somebody who wants to be a homeowner, you're not now. You imagine yourself being a homeowner. Yes, imagine yourself in a house that you want to be in, all these things here. But you're imagining yourself being a homeowner in a home somewhere. That's tapping into your imagination, even though it's not as colorful or as crazy or nuts as creative people or kids are. It's still tapping into something that's not already existing at this moment, but it is in the future, you know? And what you do after that is not just sit around and just wait for the house to pop up, you know? What you do is you start taking actions now. So whether it's to improve your credit, you do that. Whether it's to be better at financial management, you do that. Taking classes to understand how to budget and tracking your credit score to go up if you live in the United States, saving your money that way if you have a good down payment, or if you're not in the United States, you know, you save money to be able to buy it, pay it off, or whatever your method is, you take the actions that way at the time when you get, that way you're ready at some point, because you're not going to know exactly when. You can put your deadlines exactly. You can, but sometimes it can come a lot sooner or sometimes a lot later. If it's right on time, well, damn, something like that. Kudos to you, boo. Kudos to you, okay? But anyways, something like that. We're talking about your life, not what your work gives you as a deadline, or not what your school gives you as a deadline. We're talking about your inner life, your own. Okay, you okay? Yeah, with those things, it's hard to put a hard deadline on them, but when you do, that deadline is to just keep motivating you to keep on going. What's it called? So you do that, you take the actions to get ready for the situation. When it comes up, what's up? You're ready. What's up? Like, dang, we're here. Like, dang, I guess it could be like just something random. Say like a lease is about to come up in the future where you're living is coming up. And then it's like, oh, I got to move out. And then you realize, oh, wait, my credit is a lot better now. Oh, wait, I have money in the bank. Oh, wait, I know how to budget, like how to plan my money out. I may not do it every time. I may not do the budget every month, but I could buy a house. Let me look for a house, And then you go out and look for the house. That's what manifesting is. You imagine something in your head, and the things that happen in between, when that moment when you imagine it and when it happens, is what is the sauce, is the fire to the flame. Okay? Is the water to life. The things in between. Okay? If you're staying in your living room all day and you don't do anything, you can stay in your living room and be on your phone and do that, but if you literally don't do anything, guess what? It ain't gonna happen. So use your imagination, tap into that stuff. It really is a cheat code. It really is a cheat code that we all came in with, and some of us lost it. Some of us held on to it. Some of us held on to it, but not realizing how much more we can use it outside of just creativity. Anyhow, hope that you are having a great moment in your life. And if not, trust me, it can get better, and I hope it does. Follow me.